Your alarm goes off. You open your eyes in the dark, and a heavy wave of exhaustion pins you to the mattress. You think about the day ahead, the emails, the gym, the endless checklist of things you are supposed to do to be a productive human being. You hit snooze. You close your eyes. Instantly, the guilt washes over you. You call yourself lazy. You tell yourself you lack discipline. You scroll through social media and see influencers waking up at 4 in the morning, taking ice baths and building empires. You feel like a failure. But you are not a failure. You are not lacking discipline. You are actually executing one of the most sophisticated survival strategies in the history of life on Earth. Most of us completely misunderstand what laziness actually is. We treat it as a moral failing, a character flaw, a modern disease infecting people who just don't have enough willpower. We view the desire to lay on the couch and do absolutely nothing as a glitch in the human machine. But that is not a glitch. That is the core programming. Laziness is not a passive state of weakness. It is an active, aggressive biological imperative. It is an energy management system engineered by millions of years of brutal evolution to do exactly one thing: keep you from starving to death. Taking a nap when you don't strictly need to be working isn't a sign of weakness. It is a sign of absolute evolutionary genius. To understand why your brain is obsessed with doing nothing, we have to go back. For 99.9% of human history, calories were the most expensive currency in the world. Imagine you are an early human on the African savanna 300,000 years ago. There are no grocery stores. Every single calorie you consume must be chased down, dug up, or gathered through grueling physical labor. In this ancient environment, energy is a zero-sum game. The human body is an incredibly expensive machine. Just keeping your brain turned on consumes 20% of your daily caloric intake. Walking costs calories, shivering costs calories, healing a scrape costs calories. If you expend more energy trying to hunt an animal than you get from eating it, you run a biological deficit. Do that too many days in a row, and you die. Evolution had a massive problem to solve. How do you stop a highly intelligent ape from burning through precious energy reserves when it doesn't absolutely need to? The answer was a biological brake pedal. The answer was laziness. Your ancestors did not view rest as a luxury. They viewed it as a strict biological necessity. Your brain evolved a relentless subconscious cost-benefit analysis algorithm. Before any physical movement, your nervous system runs a rapid calculation. Will this movement yield food? Will it keep me safe from a predator? Will it help me reproduce? If the answer is no, your brain floods your system with profound lethargy. It actively makes you feel tired. It makes the couch look incredibly appealing. It drugs you into sitting still because in the ancestral world, moving without a biological purpose was a suicidal waste of fuel. Imagine two ancient ancestors. The first ancestor is a primitive hustler. They are always on the move. When they aren't hunting, they are pacing around the camp. They are burning thousands of calories a day on unnecessary tasks. The second ancestor is incredibly lazy. When the hunt is over, they sit down. They stare at the fire. They sleep. They conserve every ounce of energy until the exact moment they need it to sprint away from a leopard or chase down a gazelle. When the winter comes, the hustler starves first. They have no fat reserves. They burned it all off being productive. The lazy ancestor survives. You are not descended from the hustler. You are the genetic descendant of the ultimate energy-conserving sloths. Your ancestors survived specifically because they were masters of doing absolutely nothing. Your biology is built on a simple rule. If you do not have to move, do not move. Save the fuel. And then we conquered the world. We built an ecosystem of absolute caloric abundance. We invented refrigeration, agriculture, and global supply chains. You no longer have to sprint for 3 hours to acquire 1,000 calories. You can sit perfectly still, push a glowing piece of glass with your thumb, and have 3,000 calories delivered directly to your front door. The environment changed, but your brain didn't. You inherited their bodies. You inherited the exact same nervous system running the exact same ancient software. Your brain still believes believes with absolute certainty that a famine is coming tomorrow. So it tells you to sit on the couch. It tells you to lock your body into rest mode. It is trying to save your life. You trick yourself into thinking you are a failure because you are not functioning like a machine. But modern society decided to declare war on this ancient software. Over the last century, we invented a concept that is completely alien to human biology. We invented hustle culture. We created a society that glorifies constant motion. We are told that every waking second must be optimized, monetized, and utilized. We measure our self-worth by how exhausted we are at the end of the day. If you are not grinding, you are falling behind. Hustle culture is a biological anomaly. It is a rebellion against 300,000 years of evolutionary engineering. When you try to force yourself to work 14 hours a day, you are not just fighting laziness. You are fighting a life-saving survival mechanism. Your brain looks at your modern schedule and panics. It sees you burning thousands of calories on spreadsheets and stress, and it screams at you to stop. It floods you with brain fog. It deploys every chemical weapon it has to force you to sit down and conserve energy. And this creates the ultimate modern paradox. Because you have absorbed the messaging of hustle culture, when your body finally forces you to sit down and do nothing, you cannot enjoy it. Instead of recovering, you feel a crushing wave of guilt. You sit on the couch, but your mind is racing. You beat yourself up for being unproductive. You are caught in a friction trap of your own making. And here is the tragic irony. That guilt generates cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. Processing stress requires a massive amount of physical energy. So you are sitting perfectly still trying to rest, but your brain is burning calories in a state of sheer panic because you feel bad about resting. You get all the caloric drain of a hunt with none of the physical benefits of moving. You wake up more exhausted than when you went to sleep. We have engineered an ecosystem where we are biologically commanded to rest and socially commanded to feel terrible about it. Tomorrow morning, your alarm will go off again. You will open your eyes in the dark and you will feel that heavy, ancient weight pressing you into the mattress. The guilt will try to creep in. The voices of the internet will tell you that you are falling behind. Stop. Let the exhaustion sit there for a moment. That desire to stay in bed is not a weakness. It is not a failure. It is the echo of a mechanism that kept your ancestors alive through ice ages and famines. Sometimes the most biologically perfect thing you can do for your body is to ignore the modern noise, close your eyes, and do absolutely nothing.